Hello, Leo. Welcome to the channel. It's Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot. And today we're doing tarot readings with the Awaken Tarot. So I'm going to go ahead and give the deck a really good shuffle for you, and I will meet you on the other side of the shuffle for your reading. Okay, Leo, let's see what we've got. Judgment, the Seven of Wands, the Hierophant. Oops, let's get those so we can see them here. There we go. And we're starting with, ooh, the Sun. That's nice. So the Sun is a super positive card. It's an easy breezy sort of green light card. It means things are sort of magnetized to you. It's easy wins, not necessarily big wins, but it's sort of easy times, good times with friends, more sort of relaxing times. If you have to have like one of those 9 to 5 jobs, it's that feeling when the workload is kind of light, or maybe that feeling when the boss is out of the office and you don't have to be, there isn't as much pressure. Or it's the kind of environment where you get to do stuff you love to do, and not all of us get to have that kind of a job, or we don't get that kind of a feeling all of the time. If you're a freelancer or sort of a case by case, gig worker, it's the kind of time where you get gigs that you like, or you get a contract, or a phase where you get employment that you enjoy, or a really big contract, a juicy job that you enjoy. For performers or artists, this is getting a contract or a gig that might be associated with Hollywood or performing. The Sun card can be associated with Hollywood or performance, that sort of thing. For some people, this who aren't associated with Hollywood or freelancing, for some people this could be literally taking a break, taking a vacation, going on holiday, going to a sunny place, going on a cruise, something like that. But in any case, it's either associated with taking a little break, having a lighter workload at work, or having a workload that you enjoy. So that's a great place to start, huh, Leo? And then the next card we have here is Judgment. Now, the Judgment card is associated with a time when you're kind of moving out of being boxed in, being trapped by expectations, by sometimes we have a time limit for ourselves, or we set a deadline for ourselves for our career, or for relationship goals, or for, other arbitrary things like weight loss expectations. And this card can come up when we give ourselves, you know what? Maybe things didn't go to plan, but I'm going to love myself anyway, or I'm going to give myself the freedom to walk away from an expectation or from a goal, or I'm going to celebrate how far I've come, even if I didn't get all the way, or didn't, go the distance in a career expectation, or I'm going to celebrate who I am, where I'm at right now. It's a card of forgiveness. Now, sometimes this can be a card of forgiving somebody else, especially if somebody comes to you, if they've done work on themselves, if you're in therapy with somebody, like maybe a partner. Sometimes it's, if you're in therapy for yourself, this can also be a good time to give yourself a pat on the back or accept the work that you've done on yourself. But ultimately, the essence of this card is releasing yourself and or someone else from a rigid expectation that had you and or someone else boxed into something that just didn't fit or no longer fits. And the release from that restriction is the release of such a burden that it's such a freedom that that weight lifted carries you into the kind of the next cycle, feeling so light, feeling so free to really be sort of vulnerable and express yourself freely, to express yourself vulnerably, to be the authentic self that really magnetizes better fitting experiences, more joyful experiences and connections. This is, one of the major arcana cards that signifies not just, sort of mundane day to day experiences, but like life changing, kind of life heading experiences. So, this is something that affects all areas of your life, not just like career or not just personal relationships, but in, let's see if we can get it in better focus here, but across kind of all areas of your life. This kind of ability to forgive yourself and or forgive others, it kind of often goes hand in hand when you can kind of forgive somebody else. Sometimes, say if you had a toxic parent or you're getting out of a toxic relationship, when you can kind of let go of anger or um, you know whatever forgiveness needs to happen to somebody else, you're also kind of giving yourself a sort of freedom. And then that opens up, other avenues and other parts of your life. And then it just kind of, there's just a sort of a snowball effect, or just kind of a, it crosses across, it crosses across, it spreads across all facets of your life. Okay, I think we've talked and we've covered enough about there. And let's point out, you have three major arcana cards with the sun. That's a major, can we find focus? Here we go. That's a major arcana card, and we have Hierophant, which we'll get to later. But next we have the Seven of Wands, which is smack in the middle of your card. This is kind of one of those more sort of mundane day-to-day cards. And I experienced this card as a sort of audition card. In another area of my life outside of tarot, I do a lot of auditioning. I'm an actor in another life, and but this can also serve for interviews if you're looking for a job, or any other situation where you kind of have to pitch yourself. It might be something where you're pitching a passion project, or putting your name in a hat or in the ring for a project at work, or a promotion, something like that. This is something where your ego would be attached to, or your name, or something like that. And you do have to sort of stick up for yourself. You do have to kind of show off your skills, stick up for yourself, own your own sort of show off your talents and abilities. And there is a sense of self-confidence you'll have to bring to the table, as well as showing off the skills that you've earned, that you've practiced. And the thing is, whatever you're putting yourself out there for, probably we're doing this, for the month of May. So probably at some point in the next couple of weeks, you'll be putting yourself out for some sort of project, passion project, interview, audition, something like that, with skills you have, talents you have perfected, something you can do, and you have earned. but you just have to bring your A game and, not be shy about pitching yourself. And all you have to do is really show up with self-confidence and show your work. And it looks like, the result is a sort of collaborative, let's see if I can't, there we go, that you join a sort of community or an organization of like-minded folks. So if you are an actor or something like that, this looks like it would be, a community theater or a theater. The Hierophant can refer to a community, like a church or a community theater play or an organization that you would become a part of. So this could also be if you're pitching yourself, or if it's like a job interview. This would be an organization that you want to work for, a company, a well-known company that you want to work for. And this would, there's often with the Hierophant in some of the art, there's, like a stairway, or you can see it in this particular version. There's like sort of these rays of light coming out behind. It's like he looks like a priest or a church leader. So for some of you, this is going to be a position of leadership, that whatever you're pitching yourself for could be a position of leadership, like taking on a higher role at work, or with a new organization, a promotion. It could be that sort of a thing too. Often associated with this card is the sense of joining a group of like-minded people. So even though the Seven of Wands is a sort of a solitary sort of interview or audition where you have to prove yourself, it's sort of an individual effort. The Hierophant is the leader of a group or a community. So you go from an individual effort to join a group of like-minded people, joining a community. So this is a really interesting reading, Leo, in that, as I mentioned, as I touched on before, there are 3 major arcana cards, which means these are big shifts. And these are very positive shifts in the area of moving towards lightness and in owning your own sort of authenticity. So if we review this sort of the Sun card, which is about positive vibes, easy times, a more positive workload, enjoying your workload, having, if you have to work at all, forgiving yourself and possibly others, and moving towards a greater sense of authenticity that magnetizes better fitting opportunities. Pitching your true, authentic self with the skills and talents you know you have to become a part of a community or organization, possibly as a leader or in a role that you're very excited to have and be a part of. And let me point out another thing too, just chronologically in the tarot, the Judgment card, let's see if we can get these in focus here. The Judgment card chronologically follows the sun. So it's kind of like whatever this sort of slow down or kind of good vibes time is in terms of the workload or an easier workload or more fun workload, it kind of leads to this sense of, forgiving yourself or owning, letting go of a sense of rigid timelines or rigid expectations or embracing a sort of vulnerability or an authenticity that allows you to show up in your life and show your truest skill set, that leads to this community of like-minded folks where you take on a leadership role that is kind of folded in with this sort of collaborative effort. I hope that inspires you, Leo. It looks like a really interesting shift for you after a time of maybe, struggling to balance that need for recognition and identity with, purpose and community. It looks like those things kind of start to come together in this month. I hope you're very inspired by this reading, and I thank you so much for dropping by. Until next time, take good care. Bye for now.